Alright, I've got my milk out of my Levika frother. The Ninja Bar comes with a manual frother. Um, I chose not to use that. On the front here, you can see your different full carafe, half carafe, travel, and cup. Then you have your classic brew, rich brew, and over ice brew, and specialty brew. So, since I'm making just a basic latte here, I'm going to hit. I've already got the coffee in the basket. You can use whatever regular grind. You don't want to use an espresso unless you're using paper filter because you're going to have a lot of residue. So, actually, on that, I'm going to do the cup and specialty brew. I'm going to make sure that it's unlocked. It has a drip stop so that when it's done or after you make a carafe or if it starts to get too high, you can close it off. And you can hear it heating up the water. This is the first specialty brew I've made with this. And that's a pre-infusion. And it'll stop and it'll sit for a minute as it evenly soaks the grounds. You can see it already starting to layer up there and should take not very long, but with a specialty brew it is going to set it a little longer just because it's not pushing through like a regular coffee maker would do. It smells really good. You can see it separating from the milk and the froth, building that layer of coffee in the middle. I am using regular ground Death Wish coffee, the original, no flavor, no nothing fancy, but it comes with pretty good instructions on what mix of coffee to water you need to make. There's not a whole lot of questions. They've put a lot of thinking into this, and as you can see, it turns up with you can see some particulate in that. I am using the wire basket, which I might go ahead and get some paper filters just to prevent some of that. But I don't mind. I call it fiber in my coffee. And that beep means that it's done brewing. You can see, you can tap that for drips where you can just turn it off. And there you have it. Let's get a spoon here. And it's warm enough. It's not super hot. It's not, it's not cooled off like you get from a lot of things. And let's find out what that tastes like. I dribbled. Honestly, if you can't have an espresso machine, if you don't have room for, I live in clearly a tiny apartment, and I keep having to move things. I really think that I already made a carafe of coffee with it, and that was awesome. Made plenty of coffee, and I really feel like I got a better coffee experience out of it. I think that the time and research that they've put into this has really paid off. And if you don't want to have pods and you don't want to have, like I got pods here and stuff. It's a pretty good machine. I haven't tried iced coffee. I think that'll be a real test for me. If it can make iced coffee that I can drink, um, I'll give it I'll give it extra points. But as for a latte, again, it's not a traditional espresso maker with the forced water, etc. It's letting that water get into that coffee and then letting it go through uh, into the cup. And you're you're not gonna, if you're super picky, you might notice a difference. But if you're looking for a way to make lattes at home relatively quickly and easily, you got your water here, all your stuff's preset. The information that comes with it could not make it easier. This might be the way to go because it'll make a half carafe, a full carafe. It'll make just a cup of coffee without a pod that you got to throw away. It's got the basket up here that just comes out like on your coffee maker. And depending on how much coffee you put in there and using their little scoop there that's got for the carafe, it's got for the cups, tells you how much to use, plus there's paperwork. I'm not a guy who minds reading, so uh, I like it. It's really effective, and it makes a really good cup of coffee. You saw how it layered up there. I didn't use the manual frother just because I prefer my Lavica electric frother. But if you're looking for a coffee maker that's going to do a bunch of stuff, not have to use those pods that are filling up landfills, not have to buy different kinds of coffee to make different kinds of coffee, this is definitely the way to go. It's great looking. You can set it to make your morning coffee. It's got the time on there. Um, this tray in the bottom will keep your carafe warm for 2 hours after you've brewed into that. And this tray has actually got rubber on it so that your cup's not moving around. It's not. Of course it'll move, but it's not sliding and stuff. It's a nice tray. So I'm gonna give it like an 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9. We'll decide on if it's a 9 after I try iced coffee and see if it can sway me. But that's it. That's my review and my recommendation on the Ninja Coffee Bar. It so far has done everything I've asked it to do, and I think it'll do whatever you ask it to do. Unless you ask it to do the dishes or mow the lawn. But it'll make your coffee, which will allow you to do the dishes and mow the lawn. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy your Ninja Coffee Bar. And I'll see y'all later. Thanks.